Trying to get the track. Okay, our letters book page 58. That's what will be. You can go ahead and begin. I'll give you a few minutes to work on that. Your letters book page 58. Phonics and language book. We're on 185 today. Phonics and language page 185. Phonics and language 185. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our dictation for today. $185. All right. So just write the whole word. First word is kindly. Kindly. I kindly asked if I could have a treat. Kindly, kindly. Saturday, say yes. All right. All right, how do we spell kindly? Kindly. K-I-N-D. Next word. Next word is softly. 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 All right, new words. Please finish. I just said that. Thank you. Okay. How do we spell softly? Go ahead. Softly. Good. Next word, costly. 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 All right. So costly. How do we spell costly, Avaya?
Costly.
Costly. Costly. All right, last one. Firmly. 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 Solid. Not really move. So we spell firmly, person.
Firmly.
Not ER. It's a different different Firmly. Firmly. Okay, bottom row. Here's your sentence. I read a chapter in the book. 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 You can't write like that. We have our sentence. I read a chapter in the book. Okay, awesome. Let's cover a couple of things on the board, and then we'll move on to our math lesson. Yeah, we'll be able to cover math right now. So I have the word sloppy up here. I want to turn it into sloppiest. How would I write sloppiest? Okay, Carson, how would I write sloppiest? So how would I spell it out?
S-M-O-E-I.
Good. Remember, guys, when your root word ends with the Y, you take out the Y, change it to an I, and then you add your suffix. Sloppiest. Okay, park. I want to turn it into parked. How would I write parked? ED. Parked. She says P-A-R-K-K-E-D. Why did I double that K? Can someone tell me why? It's a special sound, guys. You only double when it's a vowel before it. So it's P-A-R-K-E-D. Nothing that is done to it. You got to pay attention. If that's a special sound, you don't do anything to it because of the special sound. Next, we have waste. Let's turn it into waste. Well, how would I write wasting, Kenley? W-A-S-T-I-N-G. What was the rule? Take off that E. Anytime the N has a long vowel, ends with the silent E, we drop the E. Daisy, let's turn it into daisied. How would I write it? Faith?
D-A-I-S-I. Yes.
Yep. Y, turn it into an I. Daisies. Okay. Dogs. Is dogs singular or plural? Dogs. Singular or plural? Plural. How do I change it into a singular noun? I do what? Take off that and just simply put dog. Moose. Is it singular or plural? And it could be plural. Why? Because what happens? You don't do anything. Whether it's singular or plural, the word is moose. So we say there were 5 moose in the backyard, or there was 1 moose in the backyard. Same exact word, okay? All right, guys, you'll need to get out your math book. We have a lot of things we're covering today in math. Get your math book out. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. We actually don't need our math book. I thought I had it. But you'll need a little sleep paper to cover our work that we're covering today. So we're going to get a little sleep paper ready. That will be a great idea. All right, that's because you're doing too much. Just stop, okay? Please stop doing that. Taylor, please. I told you, no. All right, guys, so like I said, we have a lot of things to cover. It'll be a couple of lessons, so I would like you to have a little sleep paper out, getting ready. I'll tell you when I need you to write down things, okay? The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start up here. We're gonna learn how to create number sentences for equal groups. To show equal groups, I'll show you that. You'll have it on your page today. 92A in particular. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you look at this here, I'll give you a story problem and we're going to learn how to create a picture for our story problem. And this will lead into our next part of the lesson, which is multiplication. Okay. So Ben had 4 cookies and on each cookie, there were 5 sprinkles. I want to figure out how many sprinkles are on each cookie. Okay. So that might be a little complicated to figure out because it's 4 different cookies and there's 5 sprinkles on each cookie. That's a lot of sprinkles to count. You know, it's not a lot of cookies, but that's a lot of sprinkles to count. Well, there's a quicker way we can figure this out. Usually we're used to adding it up, but now there's a quicker way we can add things up, and that is called by multiplication. Multiplication is a faster way to add a bunch of things at one time. So for example, the 4 cookies with the 5 sprinkles, I want to know how many sprinkles total. I can multiply it and that will help me to figure out how many sprinkles it will be total. The multiplication fact will be 4 times 5, but we'll figure that out another way before I show you the multiplication way. So I want to create a picture of this. So again, he has 4 cookies with 5 sprinkles. First thing I need to do to create my picture is to draw my 4 cookies. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 cookies. And on each cookie, it tells me that I have how many sprinkles? 5. 1. I need you to write this down as I'm writing. 5 sprinkles on each cookie. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Put that at the top. 4 cookies, 5 sprinkles, and then draw your 4 cookies with 5 sprinkles on each one. Same. Yeah, okay. And we're gonna figure it out. No. Yeah, let me see.
I finished this food.
Got you. I already said. Okay, we have it drawn out. All right, so now we're gonna figure out how to count this. So we're gonna say blank groups of sprinkles equal sorry, I don't think we gave him a name, but Ben has blank cookies blank groups blank sprinkles. Okay. So Ben has blank groups of blank sprinkles. So how many, when it says groups, that just means how many of the cookies we have, which is how many? 4. So Ben has 4 groups of how many sprinkles on each cookie? 5. So an easy way to do this, like I said, would be to count by 5s. We can just count each cookie by 5s because there's 5 sprinkles. So that will be 5, 10, 15, 20. So how many sprinkles does he have total? 20 sprinkles. The multiplication fact, once we'll start multiplying that way, it would be 4 times 5 equals 20. That will be the multiplication fact. But this is just another way we're breaking it down. Okay, let's do another one.
Now I have time.
Okay, Sarah has 5 plates with 2 muffins on each plate. We need to figure out how many muffins she has total. So again, Sarah has 5 plates and there are 2 muffins on each plate. We need to figure out how many plates she has total. Let's create a picture. So we need to draw the 5 plates. Let's draw our 5 plates. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll draw the 2 muffins on each plate. Okay, so that's the 5 plates. 2 muffins on each plate, yes? All right, so let's go ahead and fill it in to figure out. So Sarah has how many groups? 5 groups. The groups are how many plates, guys? 5 groups of how many muffins? 2. So that will be 5 times 2. That will be the multiplication fact. 5 times 2. How can we figure out the answer? We can count by what? 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So how many muffins does she have? 10 muffins. All right. Okay, so guys, can you go to 93A in your book? We'll do the one in your book. I'm sorry, 92A, the work page, 92A. Let's try one out in your book.
Miss Lujan, this page?
Yep, it's gonna be the work page, 92A.
Oh, we did it.
Okay. All right, so let's look at it in our book, 92A, okay? It says, Marsha counted the tiles and put them in groups of 10. When she finished, she counted 3 groups of tiles. So that's what we're gonna figure out. So she has how many groups? 10. No. 3 groups of how many tiles in each group? 10. So let's go ahead and draw the 3 groups. So 1, 2, 3, and how many tiles are in each one? So go ahead and draw 10 tiles in each group. Like a square. So yeah, she has 3 groups and 10 tiles in each group. Three groups of 10 tiles. Are you showing me that you did it already, Dennis? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Stop. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in the lines. Okay, so Marsha has how many groups again? 3. So fill in that number. 3 groups of how many tiles? 10 tiles. And so that means, how many would that be total? We can count them by 10s, 10, 20, 30. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so now let's move on to the next part of our lesson. So we'll start, we're finished in the book at the moment. All right, so this is an intro to multiplication. This is exactly what multiplication is. So whenever you say multiplication, that X in multiplication means groups of. That's what it means. So that's what we just did. We just broke it down into the harder way, but the easier way to figure this out is by creating a multiplication fact. Again, the X in multiplication means group of. So that means whenever I have a multiplication fact, let me show you what I am saying. Okay. In this case, I have 0 times 10. What I am saying is that I have 0 groups of 10. Now, it's pretty obvious. If I have 0 groups of 10, then I have what? 0. I have nothing. So 0 times 10 would be No, 0. I have nothing, nothing, nothing. And so guys, keep this in mind. Anything times 0 is always 0. Every single time. Whether it's 50 times 0, 40 times 0, it does not matter. Anything times 0 is always 0. Okay? This will be for every single one of the multiplication facts that we'll learn. Anything times 0 is 0. All right, let's look at my next one. I have 1 times 10. What I am saying is that I have one group that has 10 on the inside of it. How much would that be? One group that has 10 on the inside of it. How many would that be? It's just one group of 10. It's 10. It's 10. It's nothing else. One group of 10 is 10. Next, I have 2 groups. So I'm saying 2 times 10 is 2 groups of 10. So if I have 2 groups of 10, I just counted my 10s. That will be 10, 20. 2 times 10 is 20. Next, we have 3 times 10, which is 3 groups of 10. 3 groups of 10. Look at that. 3 groups. That's 3 groups, and they all have 10 on the inside of it.
And it's just 30.
That will be how much?
30.
30. 3 times 10 will be 30. I need you guys to focus and not do anything else in your book. Thank you. Next, we have 4. 4 times 10 is also saying 4 groups of 10. How much would that equal?
40.
40. So I guess we figure out the pattern. So what would be 5 times 10?
50.
6 times 10? 7 times 10? 8 times 10?
8.
9 times 10?
90.
Then 10 times 10?
100.
That's how we multiply
10.
times 10.
10.
So I need you to write and just put at the top times 10. X times 10. They're writing this down here in person. Okay, so this is our first set of multiplication facts that we'll be learning, which are times 10. The X in times is groups of. That's why it's called multiplication. It's groups of whatever number. So like when I did 3 times 10, that was 3 groups of 10. 3 groups of 10, 10, 20, 30 means 30. All right, so write this down if you need to. If you don't need to, that's on you. But if you need to write it down, go ahead and do that. Okay, you got this? Yes? No? No writing? Okay. Yeah. Okay, we have that. Written down. Okay, awesome, guys. So these are our first set of multiplication facts. We'll go all the way to 5 and yeah, we'll go all the way to 5. And I think we do literature. But yes. Okay. All right, we have a couple of things to discuss and then we'll be finished for our first part of our Zoom. So let's go ahead and look at my number line. Maybe a month or two ago, we learned about number lines. Remember that? How to read a number line. Well, today we're going to learn how to do what's called rounding. And rounding is when you round a number to the nearest 10. Okay? We're going to round. What I mean by rounding is like you just kind of, let's see, when you round a number, you are basically saying what number it is the closest, which 10 it is the closest to. So in this case, we're rounding to the nearest 10. Now we know our 10s, right? 10, 20, 30. Yes, we know our 10s. We should. So if you look at my number line, I have 1. Well, actually it will be 0, not 1. I'm sorry. Our 10 will be 0. Okay, we have 0 and then we have 10. Okay, this is my 10. That's a 10. Let's look at point A. Which 10 would 3 be closest to? 0 or 10?
0.
0. I rounded this 3 to the nearest 10, and the nearest 10 is 0. Look at B. Which 10 is B closest to? Is it 0 or is it 10? Which 10 is it the closest to? 10. That's how you round numbers to the nearest 10. Pretty easy. Okay, let's do another one. Another set of numbers. 4, 6, 7. So I'm going to do 40. Okay. And we're going to round 41 and 46. All right, let's look at A, which is 41. Which 10 is 41 the closest to? Which 10 is 41 the closest to? Okay, Carson, what you have? 40. Then let's look at B, which is 46. Dennis, which 10 is 46 closest to? 40 or 50?
50.
Good. Okay, do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So guys, the only number that can go either way is if you are on a 5. 5 is closer to either 1 because it's in the middle. But when you round a 5, like a 45 or 65 or 75, always do it to the 10 that's coming, okay? So that means 45, you can round it to 50. Like I said, you can round it to 40, but I want you to round it to the 10 that's coming, okay? All right, and today, guys, we're also gonna learn how to count quarters. Remember, quarters are high, well, not the high, it's the most amount, but there's a half dollar, but quarters are worth a total of 25 cents. When we count by quarters, our pattern is 25, 50, 75, and your dollar. Do we remember that? We should be fresh on that. Yeah, that was something we learned first grade. So let me go ahead and draw some coins up here. What? Oh, yeah. Okay, so go ahead and count this in your mind. Remember your pattern, 25, 50, 75, $1. How much would this be? Okay, anybody has on the mind for us?
$1.75.
Good. 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.25, $1.50, $1.75. Good. Okay, let's do another one. Not this week.
Thanks.
But y'all should not do it.
I do. It was.
Y'all don't start. All right, count it. So we have 25 all the way here. The pattern is 25, 50, 75, $1. Start the pattern over. $1.25, $1.50. Okay, how much?
$1.25.
How much?
$1.25.
$2.25. 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.25, $1.50, $1.75, $2.25. Good. Awesome. All right, guys. So that's it for our first portion of our Zoom. We'll be back later to review science and social studies and reading. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, guys.